What is up, movement? My name is Sam, and we are in week 2 of our series called Trending, where this week we're going to be talking about how to use our words not to break ourselves down or others down, but instead to actually build ourselves and others up. Now, years ago, I was at a crossroads in my life. I had just gotten back from a city and broken up with a friend who turned out not to be my friend. I was in the process of deciding whether to continue college or stop, and to continue pursuing my dream of being a youth pastor, or to just stop it and say, you know what, I've been through too much. There's too many things going on in my life right now. I'm going to pause on this for a while. And it was at that time when I simply felt like, you know what? I don't have what it takes. I know I don't have what it takes. And besides that, I just feel like I let a bunch of people down. You ever feel like you let somebody down before? That's exactly where I was. And one of my pastors took me out for coffee because he knew I loved coffee. If y'all have spent any time around me, you know I have a deep, burning passion for all things caffeinated, specifically coffee. Now, he took me out and I essentially just vomited up all of this stuff at him, right? I don't feel good enough. I don't feel called. I don't feel like I should be doing this. I don't know what I'm doing. Help! And you know what he did? He leaned in, used his words, and went like this. I still expect big things from you. That's all he said. He didn't say anything like super inspirational. He didn't give me a 15-minute pep talk or a halftime speech. He simply said, I still expect big things from you. And that was not a weight on me. That was actually a fire that he put in me to say, you know what? You might feel like you're knocked down, but you can get up. You need to keep fighting. You can do this. This wasn't something that he stressed me out with and says, get going. This was something that he encouraged me with to say, you got to keep going. And from that second on, it burned into my mind that I had stuff to do. I had to get going. I had to get up and keep going. Now, we don't argue the fact that words hold power. We don't. And it's because of that conversation that he had with me that I was able to keep pursuing my dream of being a youth pastor. I actually went back to college at Southeastern and I finished it out great. I graduated, became a youth pastor, married my wife, and I get to hang out with y'all every single Sunday now, which is great. None of that would have happened. My wife and I get to raise 2 beautiful cats together. Y'all thought I was going to say kids, didn't you? Now we get to, and I wouldn't even call them beautiful cats. They're just regular cats. One is really, really kind. Her name is Bella. She'll like get up on your lap and do the little meow when she's hungry and look at you with big sad eyes. It's super sweet. The other one is 1,000% certified evil. She's awful. She will bite you, scratch you, claw you, maul you, and then look at you like, what's your problem? This is how I treat you. You give me food and I beat you up. This is our relationship. That's just how she is. But none of that would have been possible had that pastor not taken me out for coffee and said, I still expect big things from you. I still expect big things from you. So if you're in that position today, we still expect big things from you. God has big plans for your life. And the way we use our words can determine whether we accomplish those dreams, those hopes that He's put inside of our hearts or not. Now today we're going to look at James chapter 3, verses 3 through 6. It says this, a word out of your mouth may seem of no account, but it can accomplish nearly anything or destroy it. So we kind of attack this dual purpose here, like words can be great and words can be absolutely hurtful as well. It only takes a spark to set off a forest fire. A careless or wrong-placed word out of your mouth can do that. By your speech, you can turn ruin into the world. You can turn harmony into chaos. How many of y'all have ever turned harmony into chaos? Somebody's bugging you beside you in class, and you, with one sentence, turn a harmonious class into absolute chaos. Mom, dad asks you to clean your room, and with what you say next, you turn a harmonious family into complete chaos. Y'all hammer out a text late at night, and it turns a friendship from harmony to chaos. That's exactly what James is hammering away at right now. He said, by our speech, we can ruin the world, turn harmony into chaos, throw mud on a reputation. How many of y'all had, mud thrown on your reputation, not respect put on your name? It says that it can send the whole world up in smoke. So this kind of further reinforces what we already know to be true about words. They carry weight. The words that you say, the words that I say, they carry weight, they carry influence. Because we know this to be true since we've been on the opposite end of some words, right? We know this to be true. Maybe we've had something said in a moment of weakness from a teacher, a coach, a parent, a friend, an aunt, an uncle, grandma, that absolutely wounded us. And we still carry those wounds. We're like, you know what? I remember what they said, and I take that into every single day. Somebody called me too short, too fat, too thin, too small, too slow, not smart enough, too smart, too nerdy. Somebody said something to me, and now I carry those wounds with me. We know this to be true because sometimes when we say things, we can see people's face drop. When we insult them, when we subtract value from them, when we criticize them in class, we can see their face drop. Or when we text them and they leave us on read and we go, the friendship just hasn't been the same since that one text I sent. We know this to be true. So in order to use our words to build people up, to build ourselves up, and to speak hope into our lives and not subtract it, what we need to do is put a filter on our mouth. We need to put a filter on our mouth. Now here's the thing. Up at the top of our time together, I explained to you that I had 2 cats, right? And that is true. However, what is more true and increasingly accurate these days is that if I breathe in any cat hair, any cat dander, my lungs can tense up and I can stop breathing. So, in order to keep breathing in my own house, what I do is I have these big air filters in the house, sucking all of the cat hair, all of the cat dander out of the air so that I can continue living a good life and breathing in clean air. It's at this point of the story where most people say, oh, you must really love cats if they could potentially kill you, and you have 2 of them. And I say, no, not at all. I love my wife. It was a package deal. She came with one, and we got another one. That's how this worked. That's how I ended up with 2 cats. But make no mistakes about it. Y'all, in order to breathe, I need a filter in my life. I need something sucking the negativity in the air out of it. I needed something to suck that cat hair out of the air so that I can keep on breathing. If we want healthy relationships, if we want healthy friendships, if you want healthy friendships, we've got to have a filter on our mouth. So the question becomes, what kind of filter are we going to put on it? What kind of filter are we going to put on it? There's many different ones. Peter suggests this in 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 8 through 18 in the Message version. It says, summing it all up, be agreeable, be sympathetic, be loving, be compassionate, be humble. That goes for all of you. If you're with me, that goes for you too. That goes for all of you. No exceptions, no retaliation, no sharp-tongued sarcasm. Instead, bless. That's your job. But I'm on the volleyball team. Bless. That's your job. But I'm in 6th grade. That's your job. But I'm, in a weird scenario at school. I just do school online, and then I thank God because I get to play video games for 10 hours a day. That's your job, to bless with your words. It says you'll be a blessing and get a blessing as well. Whoever wants to embrace life and see the day fill up with good, here's what you do. Here's what you do. Say nothing evil or hurtful. Snub evil and cultivate good. So what are we going to do next time we want to hammer out that text to a friend? Tell them how we really feel. What are we going to do next time somebody's bugging us in class? What are we going to do next time an adult asks us to take care of our responsibilities and we go, you know what? I really want to tell them. I can't wait to say, I really need to tell them how I feel. What are we going to do? We're going to put a filter on and say, wait a second, is this disagreeable? Is what I'm about to say to this person in retaliation? Is what I'm about to say sharp or hurtful? Then I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to deal with it later. I'm not going to say it. Is what I'm about to say agreeable? Is it helpful? Is it in love? Is it sympathetic? Is it kind? Is it building up that other person and myself? Is it true? And sometimes things are true, but they're not helpful. So you have to filter that as well. Essentially, here's what I'm saying. When we put that filter on, it gives us the chance to build healthy friendships, healthy relationships. And I know some of us right now, we're watching this and we're thinking, okay, maybe I need to fake it then. Maybe I just need to fake it. I can do that. I can simply just stuff the bad stuff and only put out into the air the good stuff. And here's the thing, I'm not asking you to fake it. Jesus isn't asking you to fake it. Our God isn't asking you to fake it. Life is too valuable. Your life is too precious. And people's destinations are way too precious for me to instruct you to fake it. Jesus doesn't want us to fake it. It says this in Luke chapter 45. It says, you don't get wormy apples off of a healthy tree, nor good apples off of a diseased tree. In this metaphor, the apples, the fruit, would be our words, our speech, and the tree would be our hearts. So let's read it again. You don't get wormy apples off of a healthy tree, nor good apples off of a diseased tree. The health of the apple tells the health of the tree. So Luke would say the health of our words, the health of our speech, determines the health of our heart. You must begin with your own life-giving lives. It's who you are, not what you say and do, that counts. Your true being overflows into your words and into your deeds. In other words, if we're feeling like we got to fake it, like we just got to put on a smile, slap on a smile and say something nice, it's not just a words issue. It's not just a filter issue. It's a heart issue. Y'all, some of us, and I'm not putting the blame on you right here, but some of us, we have some bitterness in our hearts. We might have some anger in our hearts. Maybe somebody did something, said something, and that planted seeds of bitterness and anger. Maybe we're on defense 100% of the time, and we feel like, when I do say something good, I got to fake it. I just have to put on a show. I have to put on a face. Listen, I love you too much to let you fake it. Jesus loves you too much to let you fake it. He's concerned about the tree, not the fruit. The fruit will come. So here's what Luke would say. He would say, don't fake the fruit, change the tree. Don't fake the fruit, change the tree. And Jesus wants to change that in your hearts. If you're struggling with bitterness, angerness, resentment, or something like that, all you have to do is reach out and say, God, would you help me? Not just fake good words and kindness, but would you help me actually mean them? God, would you renew my heart and my love and my affection for other people so that I wouldn't look at them and constantly say negative things, that I wouldn't look at myself and constantly say negative things. Would you help me with that? And He'll meet you right in that moment. So what are we going to do? We're going to put a filter on, but then we're also going to attack that heart. We're going to make sure that we talk to Jesus about it and say, God, renew my heart. And lastly, what are you going to need? You're going to need some accountability. You're going to need some coaching and some help on actually walking this out. And that's why we do small groups every single week in Movement at 10 and 11:30. We hang out in this room, 405. We have tons of games, worship, message, small groups. And why do we do small groups? We do it because we know that life is meant to be lived together. We're better together. And if we actually want to move from where we are now to where God wants us to be, we need people in our lives, not only holding us accountable, but cheering us on, saying that we still expect big things from you. So Movement, if you're with me and you're here today and you're like, listen, I need some tree change. I can't be always focused on the fruit. I need a heart change. Come hang out with us this Sunday in room 405 at Meadowbrook Church at 10 o'clock or 11:30. We'll hang out, we'll have a great time, and then we'll get to work in small groups as well. I hope to see you there.